King's Country, kingscountry.net is the TGIF edition of the Jim King of the Radio thing. Thanks for being here. Thrilling ending to the Cowboys game last night, but they got beat by the Buccaneers. The NFL season starting out with a lot of excitement last night. It was back and forth the entire time. The Buccaneers eventually took down the Cowboys 31-29 in the final seconds. Here's Tampa kicking the game-winning field goal with 7 seconds to go.
Suck up trying to win it. Got it.
They finally have a kicker in Tampa Bay.
King's Country at kingscountry.net. It's a TGIF edition of the Jim King of the Radio show. That is George Strait. King George. Today my world slipped away. Speaking of kings and such, we've got a couple of them. George Jones and Merle Haggard coming up just around the corner. How about some Dustin Saunier? He's from our neck of the woods. And so is this lady, Leanne Womack, the Fool. She's from Tyler, Texas. Good morning. Streaming from the studios of King of the Road Productions in the west end of Beaumont, here in Beaumont, Tejas. I'm Jim King of the Radio and TV. Brand new episode of the Jim King of the TV show. Who is counting? But it's episode number 787. Set to debut tomorrow morning at 6:30 on the CW. We're going to come on late due to Fox Sports Saturday night. Our normal time is 9:30, but we'll come on at 1 a.m. Goodness gracious, on Fox 4 Sunday morning. And then Sunday at 12 noon on the CW 3 times. This is a Dearborn and Thorne episode. We're going to close it out with Paul Thorne in the Royal Spotlight, sponsored by Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches, Texas. Got the Southeast Texas debut of Lee Bryce's new video as our Pine Tree Lodge music clip of the week from Nashville. And we'll kick it off by cruising over to Winnie and checking out George Dearborn and Branded Local Cats.
All right. We're going to get back to some of that old West Texas honky-tonk dance music right now. What I like about playing this music right here is a lot of people that they love music, but they don't dance or whatever, but it doesn't matter. When we play this music here, you always see this. They bouncing up and down, they keeping the beat with it. That's what you want. At least you're listening to them. Here's one we call Wind Me Up, and here we go. Appreciate it, Jim. Thank you, like I said before, thank you for all you do with live music and keeping people going.
Like I said before, I don't know what I would do with 30 minutes of TV programming if I didn't have people like you to help me fill it up.
That might get pretty interesting. I don't know.
Be a lot of editing.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, hey, I'm getting excited, getting ready to go on stage, and y'all come make one of our shows if you haven't already, and we appreciate everybody that supports our music and supports live music.
Is it GeorgeDearborn.com?
My website is gdearbornband.com, and you can go on there to find out our shows, and I keep it up to date daily, so if it's on there, that's where we're going to be.
All right, sir. Thanks for your time.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Snakes on the ceiling, walking walls I can see, on the stool, this snakes on the ceiling. Off the walls I can see. One flew on a stool, on that stool, such this one flew on a stool, on that stool, such this oh yeah. Well, that's some fun music to play right there.
Since this segment first aired, George has released a new 12-track CD, Old Brown Bottle. Here's a snippet from the recent interview I did with George on King's Country at kingscountry.net.
You know, we've been working on it. It was it ended up being about a year-long project, and man, it was worth every minute of it.
Did you do all the tracks in Nashville this time?
Yes, I did. We did the instrument parts at one studio, and did the vocals at Fox Ridge Studio.
Check out George Dearborn and Brandon on this Jim King of the TV show this weekend. I'll be posting the segments at jimkingoftheroad.com tomorrow. And thanks for streaming King's Country at kingscountry.net. King's Country, kingscountry.net. Of course, it's a solemn reminder tomorrow, 20th anniversary of 9/11. And country star Charles Kelly will be turning 40 tomorrow on September 11th. He was in college when the 9/11 tragedy happened. Listen to him talk about that day here.
It's my birthday, believe it or not. Yeah, 9/11. I was in college, and yeah, it was wild. I woke up, was getting ready to go to class, and I had a roommate come in and say, man, turn on the TV. Classes are canceled, you won't believe. And we all got up and watched it. It was just wild. You know, it's hard to put it into words, but I can remember it, and everybody can, and it had such a huge effect on everybody.
King's Country at kingscountry.net. I'm Jim King of the radio. That's Jake Owen, made for you. Oh, looky here. Here comes T-Bird, Tracy Bird, and Love Lessons. Of course, Tracy Bird resides right here in Southeast Texas. I do bump into him once in a while. In fact, I'm having one of those fabulous flashbacks at one of our meetings. Hold on tight. Could get bumpy.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
King of the Road. Backstage in Orange, Texas with Tracy Bird.
Teach me everything I need to know.
You know, for all those 20 years on the road, we went all over the place, and there's great country fans everywhere, but we all know the best ones are right here in Texas, so that's kind of where we're staying.
We keep it real.
That's
the
right.
Real country. And country music has changed quite a bit since 2009 when you left the business.
Yeah, it really has. I've kind of missed all the changes. You know, I don't really listen to a lot of current music, but unless it's friends of mine, and there's not a whole lot of those on the radio anymore.
But you always have been a traditional sound to your stuff.
Yeah, I've always liked the traditional country music, and it's what comes natural to me, and it's why I got in the business and why I wanted to sing in the first place. I didn't grow up, wanting to do other kind of music and just kind of fall into country. I seeked out country music to be what I did, and so I'm very thankful that I've gotten to do it as long as I have.
Here's your one big chance, 'cause the night is almost done. Girl, can you believe how good it makes you feel?
This concludes our special broadcast. We now return to Nothing Special.
Thanks for streaming King's Country at kingscountry.net. Jim King of the radio behind the wheel. I have the honors of doing that on the television, too, so don't miss the Jim King of the TV show on the Boob Tube 3 times this weekend on Fox 4 and the CW. I'll be posting the segments at jimkingoftheroad.com tomorrow afternoon. And a little tidbit here. Here's rising country star Sam Hunt's scaled-back acoustic version of his new song, 23. Here it comes.
No matter where I go, no matter what I do, I'll never be 23 with anyone but you. You can marry who you want, go back to Tennessee, but you'll never be 23 with anyone but me. We'll always have Delta nights. We'll always be in between real love and real life.
King's Country at kingscountry.net. Of course, we're remembering a sad day in history. 20 years ago tomorrow, 9/11 happened. Of course, the two planes crashed into the World Trade Center, one into the Pentagon and another in the fields of Pennsylvania. Where were you? Were you born yet? None of my business, I know. I was stranded in Italy. Used to go to Italy to see my mom, rest her soul. She lived in Florence, Italy for several of her last years on Earth, and we'd make a little trip there about once a year. 2011, we were there. We got there on September 2nd, 2011. I was about to fly back home when the tragedy struck, so I ended up spending a couple extra weeks in Italy. Darn the luck. It was good to see my mom. Here's the beginning of the drama that would unfold on September 11, 2001, from the Netflix series Turning Point 9/11 and the War on Terror.
What a beautiful Tuesday morning it was. The sky was clear, it was blue, not a cloud in the sky. They call it severe clear. About 8 o'clock, American Flight 11 was fully fueled. It was bound for Los Angeles. It left Boston Logan Airport.
This is Boston. I tried American 20 left and I was going to climb him. He will not respond to me now. Looks like he's turning right.
Traffic controllers lost contact, but the hijackers used the Hudson River as its guide down to New York City.
What is your name?
Okay, my name is Betty Ong. I'm number 3 on Flight 11. The cockpit's not answering. Somebody's stabbed in business class. I think there's mace that we can't breathe. I don't know. I think we're getting hijacked. First class galley flight attendant and our purser's been stabbed. And we can't get a cockpit. The door won't open. Somebody's calling medical, and we can't get a stop.
When he was 8 years old.
King's Country at kingscountry.net. It's the Jim King of the Radio show, and I did do a boo-boo a little bit earlier. I called 9/11 2011. No, it didn't happen in 2011. I know that. It was 2001. I don't know. I just got 9/11 and 2011 mixed up a little bit.
Did we make a boo-boo?
Yeah, I know. But seriously, it was a very sad day. Everybody remembers where they were on 9/11. 20 years ago tomorrow, make no mistake about it. We played the audio from the first plane hitting the World Trade Center, and as people are wondering why a jet flew into the World Trade Center North Tower, here's the reaction from people on the street and morning news programs when the second plane hit the South Tower. This is from the Netflix series Turning Point 9/11 and the War on Terror.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, God. There's another one. Oh, my goodness, there's another one.
This seems to be on purpose.
Another one just hit the building. Wow. Another one just hit the work site. Holy smokes.
And that was just the beginning.
Third aircraft hijack heading towards Washington. Scramble Langley, heading towards the Washington area.
Streaming from the studios of King of the Road Productions in Beaumont, Texas. Of course, we're rolling into the weekend. That means it's my time to shine on the boob tube. Yep, 3 times every weekend on Fox 4 and the CW. New episode debuts tomorrow morning at 6:30 on the CW. It'll air Saturday night at 9:30-ish. Well, way beyond-ish because 1 a.m. due to Fox Sports on Sunday on Fox 4. Then Sunday at 12 noon on the CW. Final encore performance of this episode. We're going to kick it off with George Dearborn and Brandon, captured live in Southeast Texas by King of the Road Productions. We'll also have the Southeast Texas debut of Lee Bryce's new video as our Pine Tree Lodge music clip of the week from Nashville. And Paul Thorne will be back in the Big King chair thanks to Bradley's Collision Center.
I know nothing about this woman. Everything I do is wrong. Sometimes it's hard to fathom just what pace she's on. I found a pretty little mood ring at the local 5 and down.
$1.99. If it turns black, I should turn back. If it turns red, she likes what I said. If it turns blue, I should leave her alone. If it turns green, she wants me, I know. She wants me, I know.
Check out Paul Thorne in the Royal Spotlight on the Jim King of the TV show. Who's Counting? But it's episode number 787 this weekend. I'll be posting the segments at JimKingOfTheRoad.com tomorrow, so those of you outside of Southeast Texas can stream those bad boys. And thanks for streaming King's Country at KingsCountry.net. Thanks for streaming King's Country on the World Wide Web at kingscountry.net. Jim King of the radio behind the wheel. And from my file, you just can't make this stuff up. A judge in Kentucky denied a couple's request for a divorce, even though both sides agreed that it was over. The judge ordered them to counseling. Here's the audio.
I get the vibe that you all might be able to work this out, and I could be wrong, but I've said through a lot of these things. Would it be beneficial to either of you all if I order you to go to reconciliation counseling, or are you past that?
I mean, I would say we're past that.
This is something really no one would have seen coming.
Being told to stay with your ex when you both agree that it's over is pretty stunning. Usually people are only ordered to go to some form of counseling when they demonstrate that they can't get along and that they need extra help in co-parenting. But here, where everyone's on the same page about most of the issues in the case, I mean, that's the ideal. That's what you would want out of people.
I don't know that she had all of the information. And so once she has all of the information, I think that she will have no issue granting the divorce.
I read somewhere that if two people enjoy being alone together, that's the acid test of a good marriage.
All right, Edith, we got 100% acid marriage, all right?
Thanks again for streaming King's Country at kingscountry.net. I guess I've done all the damage I can for another week of the Jim King of the radio show. I'm going to finish off the Jim King of the TV show and turn in that bad boy so you can watch it on the CW and Fox 4 this weekend. In the meantime, keep it between the ditches. Have a good one. Hey, maybe we'll see you at Larry's Old Time Trade Days this weekend. It's this coming weekend. Me and my sweetie are packing it up and heading out there tomorrow. Going to talk to Larry himself, Larry Barron. And we'll air a little video with him in the next month's episode of the Jim King of the TV show. So keep it between the ditches. Have a good one. Talk to you Monday at 10-ish on King's Country.